block in the Goldenrod building, where some of the dyads and seminars take place. Can you tell us more about the honors program that is here in Germantown?
Yes, the Renaissance Scholars Honors Program, just to give you a little history, began about 9 years ago, and we had 10 students. We now have 60 students, and we began with one dyad, or one paired course, and we now have 3 paired courses plus 6 honors seminars. The dyads are offered in the spring and the honors seminars are offered in the fall. However, I think the most important part of the Renaissance Scholars Honors Program at the Germantown campus is the fact that it's inclusive. Many honors programs throughout the country at the college level are for full-time students and for students who attend classes during the day. Our honors program, the Renaissance Scholars Program at Germantown, is for part-time students and full-time students, daytime students and evening students. And our original purpose was to be inclusive. We wanted to include people who were honors students, but who could only come to class in the evening. That's why all of our paired courses or dyads and honors seminars are in the evening. And we also wanted to include part-time as well as full-time students because there are honors students who have to work. In fact, the other day we did a little estimate and we found out that many of our students are full-time mothers or fathers with children at home. Many of our students work full-time, and many of our students work part-time. And the age range is from age 17, sometimes we even have 16-year-olds, up to about 55. There is no age limit. And so we have students who are older that are enriching the classes. We have younger students, some of them are homeschooled. They also enrich the classes. We also have an international population. There are students, the other day I was looking at a group of students, and at least 7 different countries were represented.
And what can the students expect from the Renaissance Scholars Program?
Students can expect, first of all, a challenging curriculum. A curriculum that is interdisciplinary. For example, we combine political science, international relations, with History 114, which is the world in the 20th century. We combine Introduction to Literature with Introduction to Sociology. And we also combine Environmental Biology, Biology 105, with Introduction to Geology, Geology 101, so that students are not looking at just at a particular discipline or a particular subject from one perspective. They're being required to look at a topic from multiple perspectives, which I think is what the real world is more about, rather than just looking at one discipline and seeing everything from just biology or just English or just history. And I think it requires them to do much more critical thinking. However, I don't want to overly emphasize the challenge of it. It's also, the instructors are very supportive. While the instructors do require critical thinking, do require honors curriculum, do require an immense amount of reading and writing, they are also very supportive. They understand that these are community college students who have sometimes responsibilities at work, sometimes responsibilities with their families, and they are very appreciative of those circumstances. The other thing that students can expect in the Renaissance Scholars Program is the class size. The class size is limited to 20. So you have a maximum of 20 students in each class, 60 students, 3 dyads. And in the fall, in our HP seminars, the 1-credit seminars, the class size is usually about 8 to 10. So they really get to know the professor. In addition to the dyads, the topics of the HP seminars vary tremendously. For example, one of our topics is what is infinity, or how big is infinity? One of our topics explores art, literature, and myth. Another one explores scientific topics such as climate change and genetic testing. Another one explores religion and the American popular culture. And we have another one that explores globalization. And in fact, we're going to be adding another HP seminar on Star Trek. So it'll be really fun, and we'll be talking about history and various historical concepts from the perspective of Star Trek.
Who can apply for the Renaissance Scholars Program?
Well, it's quite an open process. Students have to have a 3.2 GPA, 12 credits completed at Montgomery College, and an A or a B in English 101, 102, or 109. Then they submit their portfolio, which consists of an essay, 2 letters of recommendation, and a resume, which is evaluated by the Renaissance Scholars Committee.
What kind of scholarship do the students receive once they are accepted into the program?
Well, they receive scholarships for the classes that they take within the program, within the Renaissance Scholars Program. And that can be up to 6 to 7 credits in the spring and 1 or 2 credits in the fall. Now this is very beneficial to students because 6 or 7 credits can run close to $1,000. And so students find this very beneficial to have scholarships for these courses. And these courses also help them to fulfill their graduation requirements, especially their distribution requirements. This is very exciting, and most students are very happy in this, particularly in this time of a fiscal crisis, to receive these scholarships.
And how about internships in counseling, Professor Naake?
Well, you know, the Paul Peck Humanities Institute has 3 internships. 1 for the Smithsonian, 1 for the Library of Congress, and 1 for the Holocaust Museum. And we encourage the Renaissance Scholars to participate in this internship program. It's a marvelous opportunity to hone their research skills and to really develop ideas about their major. In addition, we have marvelous counseling. We have a counselor who is not only devoted to the Renaissance Scholars Program, but she's also devoted to the transfer scholarships. And she, first of all, her name is Audrey Hill. She advises students on the courses that they need for their major, and then she also advises them and identifies for them various transfer scholarships.
Professor Naake, the students in the Renaissance Scholars Program, they have a chance to give back to their community. How?
We always engage the Renaissance Scholars in giving back to the community in a number of ways. First of all, we always devote an entire month of the Renaissance Scholars Program to packing smart sacks. And these are for local elementary school children who would not actually have food on the weekends unless we packed these smart sacks for them. And in addition to that, we also do things for the environment, such as pulling invasive species. And we do that in connection with the geology and the environmental biology dyad. On a Saturday morning, we go out and pull invasive species, often on the Montgomery College campus on Germantown. And in addition to that, a number of the students this semester were involved in the Senegal water project, in which they raised, through a silent auction, over $2,500 for water wells in Senegal, so that people can then farm and have food and eat. Right now, the people are starving because of economic conditions and also because of the arid conditions of the land.
And I know that at least once every semester, the students have the opportunity to see a Shakespearean play in the Washington area. And that includes a brunch or a supper at your house. That sounds very exciting.
Well, first of all, I love to have the students at my house for dinner, and it's very exciting, whether it's brunch or dinner. It's a very exciting opportunity to share my home with the students. And I enjoy cooking, and I enjoy then discussing the play that we're going to go see, and then actually going to the play. I think it's really important that we're here in Germantown and that we appreciate all the arts and all the opportunities for culture that Washington, D.C. has to offer. And we have 2 or 3 Shakespearean playhouses, the Shakespeare Theater, and we also have the Folger Theater. So I usually try to arrange for the students to see a Shakespearean play in the fall at the Shakespeare Theater and in the spring at the Folger Theater. The Folger Theater has the benefit of having a stage that's similar to the Elizabethan stages. And so they not only see the play, but they actually see the stages as well. I think that Shakespeare is so universal, and all students should have that opportunity. But we not only do a Shakespearean play, we try to do 2 activities per month. And so we do things such as going to the Holocaust Museum, going to the News Museum, going to the Smithsonian, going to the National Gallery of Art. We have also been to the Phillips Gallery. In addition to that, we organize groups so that students can study together, etc. So there are lots of social groups. One of the most exciting things we did this semester was we went to see the Terracotta Warriors. And before we went to the Terracotta Warriors, we had a simple brunch at a cafe near there. And Professor Gallagher, a retired professor, gave a wonderful talk on how the Terracotta Warriors reflected Chinese culture and Chinese history. Then we went to see the movie on the Terracotta Warriors, and then after that we saw the Terracotta Warrior exhibit. And as a result of that, when the students went through the Terracotta Warrior exhibit, they really understood it. And it wasn't just looking at particular artifacts or looking at statues. They really understood what these artifacts and these statues meant in terms of the Chinese culture and Chinese history. So it was very exciting. So we tried to expose students to the culture and the history and the art and the drama that is available in the Washington, D.C. area. We also take students to plays and to musical events at Black Rock, which is here in Germantown, because we want to support the arts in Germantown as well.
Well, that sounds very interesting. And speaking of interesting and exciting things, the best students of the program are selected to study and travel to England during the summer. Can you tell me more about this?
Yes, that's very exciting. It's a wonderful, exciting opportunity for students. It's pretty competitive. The students have to be the best within the 60 Renaissance scholars who are already the creme de la creme. But they do get to go to Cambridge. They do fly over. For many students at a community college, it's their first time living in a dorm. They do have wonderful classes at Cambridge University in England, and that by wonderful classes, wonderful professors. And they go for 2 weeks. There's a weekend in between where many of them go to London for the weekend, and then of course go to all the museums, the Tower of London, the British Museum, the National Gallery of Art, etc., and Trafalgar Square. And so they not only understand the museums and the culture in the small area of Cambridge, but they also understand London as well. Most students come away from that experience transformed. The British professors are quite different from the American professors, and sometimes they're a little bit more caustic than American professors might be. They're engaging, it's exciting. At the end of the Cambridge experience, students, there is a long evening where they are given awards, where they're given certificates, and the students just love this marvelous evening. In addition to that, I hate to harp on Shakespeare, but they're usually in the summer, Shakespearean plays are performed on the lawns among the different colleges at Cambridge University, and the experience is free. So many students get to see 2 or 3 plays during the 2 weeks that they're there.
This is such a unique experience. Well, Professor Naake, thanks for touring us, and thanks for coming here today and telling us more about the Renaissance Scholars.
Well, it's been my pleasure, and I love the Renaissance Scholars Program, and I can't talk about it too much. So thank you very much for being interested in it and asking me questions.